Hey, how's it going?
Hey, hello. Nice to meet you.
Hey, nice to meet you as well. Can you hear me good?
Yeah, I hear you very well. Thanks for joining. How are you doing?
Pretty good. It's 3 a.m. for me, so I'm not sure what time it is for you, but I trade kind of London sessions, so my sleep schedule is all over the place.
So you have early morning right now?
Yeah, 3 a.m.
Good. So, could you just briefly introduce yourself and tell us something about your trading history and trading career?
So I'm Eduardo, also nicknamed Eddie, EDDY.
Mm-hmm.
Trading career, it's been about, let's say, on and off. Man, I think around COVID, the pandemic, when things got starts to lock down, that's when
Mm-hmm.
I lost my dog walking company because everyone was working from home. No one needed
Yeah.
dog walkers anymore. So
Okay.
I lost all my business. Someone, a couple months before that happened, hit me up trying to introduce me into Forex trading. I was like, interesting, but I already got a full schedule, from
Mm-hmm.
morning to evenings, walking clients. I don't really have time to be learning this or trying to learn something new. But then the lockdown happened. That guy hit me up again. Do you know what MLM is? Like that
Multi-level
they
marketing.
basically, yeah, they basically were they call people in. Hey, we're gonna teach you
Mm-hmm.
how to do this. Join my team.
Uh-huh.
I do not recommend joining those. Horrible
Yeah.
way to start trading, to learn trading, and I think that's why it took me a bit longer to become a profitable, consistent, starting to get consistent payouts
Mm-hmm.
because I got my foot into trading that way. Basically, they put me into the company to learn trading, but then I didn't have a real mentor. They were just like, here, learn this stuff
Mm-hmm.
from our website and whatnot. But yeah, I think it's been since
Okay.
2020 that I
Mm-hmm.
took interest into trading. Bad start, 2 years, bad start. I just really couldn't get it because I didn't really have a good lead in it. But
Mm-hmm.
then I think it was 2022, 23, I decided to start looking at my own to learn. And that's when I heard about ICT.
Mm-hmm.
So I started to try to learn that. Another thing that it could not stick. It was so confusing, but I saw that it
Yeah.
was like, I wish I could understand it because that looks like something that would work with me if I learned it. So I think I spent about another year trying to learn that. Watching his videos, I'm not sure if you ever watched any of ICT stuff. They're very long, two
Yeah.
hours, 4 hour long videos. So I couldn't really focus that long
Mm-hmm.
to learn that
Mm-hmm.
stuff. So I think I spent another year or two trying to learn that way. And then I found someone who basically learned all his stuff and then is reteaching it in a simplified way.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when it really stuck to me what he was teaching, plus him adding his own method to it. He
Mm-hmm.
simplified a lot of ICT stuff, found his different models, and then he taught those what works for him. And then I went and learned that stuff from him and picked about two or three to really focus on. And I think that's when I decided to cut down how many
Mm-hmm.
models I'm trying to learn to trade. Yeah, I became more consistent when I was locked in, just trying to find my specific strategy, my setup. Those three, I think it's about three or four that I've been really focusing on. And in the past 2 years, that's when things really kind of turned around and started to become a bit more consistent and achieving
Mm-hmm.
payouts. My best year that I had, I think in 3, 4 months, about
Mm-hmm.
2 years ago, I did pull out about 60K in total. But with ups and downs that I have, sometimes I still go into tilt. So I'll start failing challenges from challenges back to back. And then that'll get to my head and I'm like, damn. And then I'll start failing more. So then I took a break and then I think I found Upcomers last year. I took interest in Upcomers sometime
Mm-hmm.
last year. I didn't really start a challenge until I'm not sure when the first challenge I took. But I think what really brought me into Upcomers was you guys' rules, your consistency, like 15%, 20% consistency. It kind of like forces you to really wait on your setups. And
Mm-hmm.
I didn't at first I was like, oh man, they seem too strict, all these rules. But then when
Mm-hmm.
I started to try out your challenges, I saw that it actually betters you as a trader. Those rules you guys have
That's a
set
good
up. So
net.
that's what I kind of liked about yeah. your prop firm.
Cool. I can see in the system that you signed up to Upcomers at September 25. So you're with us quite a long time already. And I think that's pretty interesting story. So from dog walker to trader, and right now you are doing trading as a full time or still as a side job?
Yeah, I never went back to dog walking because I think the lockdown was, man, here it lasted over a year. Really, like nothing really went back to normal. So all the people stayed like working from home. They never went really back to
Uh-huh.
office. So I
Uh-huh.
had a few of my clients. I had a lot of clients, and
Uh-huh.
only a few of my clients hit me up like, "Hey, are you starting dog walking again?" And I was just like, it wasn't enough. Those few clients, it wouldn't have been enough to make it income
Yeah.
again. But
Yeah.
then when I saw the potential of what trading had, that's why I was like, decided to make that my
Mhm.
focus. But for me, I think it took a longer time because I said how I started up learning and
Yeah.
trading.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I could
Okay.
have
So
probably
when
cut it down to 2 years if I had the right direction in learning.
and how did you find out about prop firms? Like, did you start the trading career with prop firms, or you traded
Yes.
your own money with broker, or?
At the very beginning, when I first joined that MLM, I think that's what it's called. I kind of switched between a few in those first 2, 3 years. And I did fund my own accounts at first. And then I started to run out of capital because, I put my money into too soon into trading.
Uh-huh.
That's another thing they don't really tell you. Like, you should wait maybe a year of learning before you even try to start trading your
Yeah.
own capital. So when I started to run out of my savings because I was blowing these personally funded accounts, some of the people in those companies they would tell us about these prop firms like, hey, pay these small fees, you get the X amount of a challenge to try to
Uh-huh.
pass and then get funded with. But then that's another thing. I started to blow funded. I mean, challenges back, left
Uh-huh.
and right, because I was just in way too soon. But yeah, that's how I found out through those mentorships and
Uh-huh.
those big companies. I would recommend finding a personal mentorship instead of joining a big company that's teaching
Uh-huh.
hundreds of thousands of people.
Yeah, like one-on-one teaching.
Yeah,
It's much better. Yeah,
yeah.
understand. What type of challenge account or evaluation account are you typically buying, and from which you manage to get the payout?
So when I started to become like, at first it was about, I would get a 50K or 100K. And
Uh-huh.
then when I started to get those type of payouts from those accounts, I would get 200K or 400K. Like, I've tried a couple of different prop firms, some that
Uh-huh.
offer large amount. I find it with me personally that the bigger accounts, for some reason, they just seem a bit, they give me more breathing room with my strategies. When I was trying the smaller accounts, I feel like I would blow them so quick going from a larger challenge from 200K down to a 200K, 50K. I'm not sure what it is, a mental thing, just trying to put in a bigger lot instead of using lot size compared to the account size. Yes, but with my recent payouts with you guys, it's been a 25K and a 50K account. That also has been helping me out, like trading smaller size, get my focus on the strategy instead of trade size. So cutting down on account size has been helping me as well mentally.
Okay, okay. And in the intro, you mentioned that you started to learn ICT. Is it something you still work with, or you have a different strategy right now?
So my strategy is focus. I mean, how do I say this? It's basically been cherry picked from ICT stuff. So it's a few of his models or concepts, and
Uh-huh.
then turned into a strategy. So my strategy basically is, I don't mind sharing it. It's not a secret. I didn't create it. Liquidity sweep, change in state of deliveries, break of structure. Once you get the liquidity sweep, you want to break structure, and then
Uh-huh.
displacement or FVG or imbalance. You got different names. People got different names for them. So I want the liquidity sweep, either or, from
Uh-huh.
old high or old low, change of structure, and then a FVG or imbalance, and then a retest on that
Uh-huh.
imbalance, and then see that the imbalance is holding, and then I enter.
Uh-huh.
So that's basically a bunch of ICT stuff. Now, I mean, you can see this stuff everywhere in all time frames. What I focus on is on specific timing and then
Mhm.
specific areas as well. Something that I think ICT pretty much teaches as well, but my mentor simplified it, and instead of 2 hour, 4 hour long videos, a bunch of those, it's 15, 30 minute videos.
Yeah,
But
that's
yeah,
nice.
it's pretty much ICT stuff that I trade.
Maybe if you wouldn't mind, you can even share the screen and show it on the charts on TradingView or where you make charts.
Yeah, so I just got this laptop. I actually just got this laptop with the first payout that you guys gave me. I got
Uh-huh.
myself a new MacBook. I
Cool.
don't have my trade. I literally just got it on Saturday. I don't have my trading view set
Uh,
up on this
mm,
computer. I would have to log. Let me see. 1 second.
mhm. You know, like I think it's much more valuable for our traders to actually see how you trade or how you make charts
Yeah.
than just speaking about it.
Yeah, this doesn't have any of my markings since I don't have 1 second. But I can. Where's the login? Just log. And so I also use a free indicator that marks my FVGs.
Mhm.
So I don't have to, that's a nice little shortcut for me that I like. Do I pull out the chart? I'm so used to trading on my phone. So I'm on TradingView, but I just don't know how to bring up the chart for gold. On here, let me share screen, allowed to share window. You seen my screen? Okay, good.
Yes, it works.
So I trade mostly NAS100 and gold. How do I
Mhm.
open so this is a gold, but how do I open up the chart itself?
If you scroll down a little bit, see on supercharts, but
See super chart.
on the right top.
Wonderful. So I have this moving averages that I use on the smaller time frames to scalp sometimes. But that
Mhm.
one, it just really depends what I'm doing in that day, if I'm scalping or if I'm doing my regular, which one is it? There we go. So what I first do is go to the daily. Forgive me if I'm a bit slow with this because, as I say, it's a new laptop and I don't usually trade on
So never
laptop.
mind. Don't be stressed. Never mind.
So here I have, I've marked my daily zone. So, okay, so
Mhm.
got this bullish FVG, it respected, it came down and it closed bullish on this daily candle right here. So what I'm
Mhm.
expecting is, okay, this FEG held nice size bullish candle.
Mhm.
I'm expecting next day to be bullish. The same with this until this swing point is
Mhm.
taken or it comes into this FEG and then rejects.
Mhm.
Currently, yep, it tapped and it's starting to reject, but I want to see how the candle closes. And so then when I'm looking at the daily, I'll go mark my low of the candle
Mhm.
of previous day and the high. Then I would go to smaller time frame, 15-minute time frame to get a good telltale. So right here, liquidity sweep. This is liquidity sweep from how I was taught liquidity sweep. You want the
Mhm.
candle to wick above uh, a major um point of interest, that old daily high. The candle comes up, sweeps, and you want it to close under the previous candle's wick. So inside the previous candle. And
Mhm.
that's a sign of a sweep. And then the next candle right here, major confirmation, it closes in the direction you want to go. So now you got one, two, three. I mean, you got the one candle went to sweep old previous high. I mean, previous day's high, the candle, and then you got the sweep, and then confirmation that yes, it wants to go and into your direction that you're looking for. Now from here, you can go onto the smaller time frames. Depends if you wanted to make it, if you wanted to find a sniper entry, or if you're fine with just trading that time frame. Price is fractal, right? So what happens on higher time frame, it's already starting happening on the lower time frames. So right here, after this candle closes, got the sweep, got the candle showing, yes, we're going bearish after the sweep of previous day's high.
Mhm.
So let me go into that. So the start of this one is 9:45 p.m. Going to the smaller time frame, and then I'd be looking for, after that candle closes bearish. Now what I'm looking for is change in structure change in state of delivery, which is basically another way of saying change of structure. You want to mark a low. So right here we have this one down candle right there, goes up,
Mhm.
and then price aggressively comes back, closes below that. Let me get rid of
Mhm.
this before it gets all messy in there. Closes below the opening price of that down close candle, making it a confirmation. And you can see right here how it reacts, and here as well, and here. So price came back, it does a sweep, closes down, goes retest that opening price of that down close candle, making it a order block, goes up, rejects, goes up, rejects, and so you have different way of entering. You could have entry on these rejections like that
Mhm.
here, or maybe here or here, or you could wait for more confirmation of. So this is marking a bullish FVG here. It
Mhm.
went and it was respecting it, but then it broke through, and then it turns into an IFVG, an
Mhm.
inverse FVG. That could have been an entry right here if it came up there and retested, but it never did that. But it is printing more confirmation. So you have this price movement comes down, goes up, respects, leaves another change of not change. This would be breaker structure. Again, you still don't get any retesting this FVG right here and IFVG. So that sniper, that would be, for me, is my A plus setup right there
Mhm.
coming.
Yeah.
But in this case, I would have missed it. So what I'm doing is just, this is why I like this free indicator. It just marks FVGs and IVs.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now I got another zone here and here, point of interest. So when I'm waiting, it's just for price to come into this area, any of these areas right here, and then show me signs that it's respecting. Here it came, it tapped, and then we get a bearish close. So for me, right there would have been my entry, that first candle, and then above the FEG in case it wants to go
Mhm.
retest again. And
Mhm.
1 to 2, 1 to 2 right there. And that would have been a perfect, nice exit. Again, you get another one right here.
Mhm.
Another opportunity at entry would be, oops, move this. You come, price goes up, it breaks below again, the down close candle of these ups. I would mark that, goes up, rejects, and then I would get in on that, get on the close, mark the high, 1 or 2. I would have been taken out from that one. It really depends on where I put my stop loss. Sometimes it'll be too
Yeah.
tight. So that would
Mhm.
have taken me out. It's a nice example of not wanting your stop loss too tight. I would have been taken out if I went that instead of the FEG would have been the safe. And here it actually came and
Yeah.
tapped it again. Yep, it came and
Yeah.
tapped perfectly right
Exact.
there.
Exactly.
So it took me out. I got swept if I went too tight on my stop loss. But
Mhm.
if I would have been safe and put it above the FEG, I would have still been on this trade and won right there. And I could show another example on, let's say, that's 100. Let me find a bullish example. I will say that April has been very tricky to trade with the war news and stuff, how
Yeah.
it puts so much volume. Someday you'll have that huge gap that
Mhm.
opens to downside or upside, and then all this market
Yeah.
volatility.
There are so many macro events right now that are totally unexpected.
Yeah, and it's just
Only
better
insiders
to.
know.
It's yeah, it's crazy how they be getting in on those
Yeah.
perfect price points before the news drops.
Yeah.
So I'll mark my high and low, my previous day candle. So I don't have the paid version of TradingView yet on this, so it's not going to mark my FVGs down here, but I could still show examples up here. So here's nice little setup, and this is another like this blue one. So on bearish, it was orange for these bearish FVGs, and then they get flipped. And see this, it's beautiful retest of these FVGs right here, and came boom, blast off another FVG
Another
entry.
retest.
Blast off, blast off. Like I just love FVG entries. It makes it so simple to know exactly where you want to enter. But
Yeah, it looks like it works pretty good. I already found this indicator on the trading view, so maybe
yeah,
I will use it as well. Like
it just
it's
makes
quite
it.
simple, but we can see it just works fine
Yeah,
most of the time.
it does the work for you because FVGs you can go and mark them and
Yeah.
and then just but I get a little lazy with that. I just want to open my chart and immediately see where I want to enter. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
cool, I know I'm waiting for here to enter.
Yeah.
But what I want to wait for is a sweep. So you have these down close candles. It looks like equal lows right there, equal lows, FVG below. So that's a nice area of interest would be this FVG. You got
Yeah.
this closes above these prices, these wicks. So that's a sweep for me. Once price closes inside the wick, and if it
Mm-hmm.
would have closed like below those wicks, the possibility of it turning around lowers. So if it closes back inside the wick, that's a high sign that it might higher chance of it going your way. So you'll have the sweep, the close inside the candle, and then
Mm-hmm.
this kind of I forgot what these are called, doji or inverse hammers, whatever. But then you got the 3 candle setup that I'm basically talking about. Now this sweep, I would have rather had it in the middle candle, and then but it's still with this candle being like that indecisive, and then you have it
Yeah.
turning around outside of, I mean, away from this FVG. Boom, I'm looking to get in on this candle. So the start of this candle would have been where I'm looking to get in. So on NAS right here, another thing we learned, this is most likely a SMT. That's another ICT thing.
Mm-hmm.
So SMT with what's it called? SPX 500. Most likely, let me see if I could go look at this right here. Let me mark that on SP 500. This low most likely is down here. And then
Mm-hmm.
this would be a SMT confirmation. Let me go check. This is Tuesday 14th, right before 3 p.m. No, it's not. But if it was, that would have been a even stronger confirmation to start trusting that buy. But so here we'll have so this low, this set, like what I've showed on the cells, this is a very high, I mean, huge set of candles to mark
Mm-hmm.
the change of state of delivery. But with these FVGs starting to IFVGs, so you have these bearish FVGs, and
Mm-hmm.
then they starting to get disrespected right here. I
Yeah.
would have, if the candle would have closed, like it came into this FVG and then rejected it, I would have been okay. I'm not trusting to buy in this area, even though there's a 15-minute FVG right here that's rejecting. But
Mm-hmm.
because it is strongly closed out through it, this FVGs are starting to become weak. And then we get right here, this is the candle I said that I want to get in on that new 15-minute candle. Closes above the set of down closed candles right there, confirmation. And that's another way to get in. It's just at the start of that CISD, change in state of delivery, or break of structure, change of character. People call it different things, but it closes right there. And basically, if you got in on that close, you want to go for the lowest point. In this case,
Mm-hmm.
for buys, 1 or 2. What I've told people, some people like to always ask me about my strategy, what I do, what type of RRs I do. And I tell them that 1 or 2 is that sweet spot. There's a reason that a lot of
Mm-hmm.
the biggest profitable traders, their R's are sometimes less than 1 or 2, because
Mm-hmm.
that gives you that high win rate. You get
Yeah.
out of the trade,
Too strong.
you profit sooner than later,
Yeah.
instead of trying to get those casino 1 of 10s, 1 of 5s. Like I've heard someone who said they consistently try to go for 1 of 10s. I'm like, bro, you're crazy.
Yeah. That's
What is your win rate? Like it's like 20%, 10%, but that 10% win, I'm like, yeah, but I'm getting 60%, 70%. On
yeah.
my last challenge, 84% win rate on just 1 of 2s, 1 of 1s,
Yeah.
1 to 1.5, like I get my profit, I get my part
Yeah.
of the pie, and I'm out.
I would say
Like,
usually 1 to 3 is maximum. What is like the sweet spot, right?
yeah, 1 of 3s is, I really like 1 of 3s if on a lower time frame, but let's say a 3-minute entry or a 1-minute entry using a 15-minute FEG.
Mm-hmm.
Let me move that out the way here. So look at this, what I was explaining. So this would be the CSD,
Mm-hmm.
CISD. You got all these down closed candles. It sweeps this consolidation, closes back in. You're starting to form IFVGs and FEGs. The green boxes are the FEGs. The blue ones are bearish FVGs that got flipped to bullish. Then it closes above these downset candles that did the sweep and the and then strongly closes above. So that's the first CISD, comes down, retest, closes. That could have been an entry right there. Again, it comes down, retest, closes away very strongly. This perfect sign of see how these CISDs are used like trampolines. Huge movement away from that after retesting. Huge, nice movement away from there. And from there, it's just been, it was starting to go up, up, up. Let's see if again here we get right there. So say you get this movement. Here's another one. Up close candle. Like sometimes I'll scalp these reversals. Like I see the higher time frame is bullish, but I can scalp a quick move 101, 102 on these. Like you'll have this CSD right here. You got these up close candles, closes below that down close candle and comes retest, rejects away. You can scalp some of that again. So this, you have no down close candles here, no setup, comes down close candle, a set of down close candles right there, breaks through it. So you'll have the retest, push away. Now, what I was taught is you can wait for one candle to close. Like some people want to get that sniper entry and immediately enter as it taps, but possibility could be that it's just going to blast through now because you have no confirmation that yes is holding. That first candle that closes with in the direction you're looking to go, you can take that one or the second one or wait for the FVG right here. Nice FVG. You get these candles rejecting it, close right there. That could have been another entry, stop loss up there. So you would have had this one, way above the FVG to be safe. Entry at the close of that candle that confirmed that yes, it's going. I'm looking for sales, so I want to get in on the close of a bearish candle. 1 or 2. Let's see if it would have gave. But see right here, this nice swing point. That's where I start partialing. This is a nice, huge swing point, nice liquidity zone. It goes in there. I'm partialing about 80% and then letting the rest run to that 1 or 2, 1 or 3, or whatever I want to. Sometimes you could also just set up your trailing stop loss for your runners and just see how much you can get. But that's basically the model that I like to use, what I was taught, and it has simplified using FVGs. Right here is what time is it? 3. Yeah, so between 3 and 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. in my time zone is when I start to look at the markets. But it depends. I'll look at the previous price action. Has price moved a lot already in the previous 2 sessions? Has it gone a huge move? Most likely going to get stuck in consolidation. Here we had that huge decent move. I mean, not decent. That move, bullish move. As let's see from down here. This was the previous day's candle high, I think. So 25,427 has been going bullish. And I actually, in my last challenge, I was part of this bullish move. I think all my buys won, but to try to balance out, I try to scalp some sells in how I just showed in this movement, which was pretty tricky, knowing like I'm in that 4-hour candle. I need to find some sells. So I just took like 101s instead of going to 102, 103s. So I was still able to get, I think I had 10 sells and 14 buys. But yeah, so you have this huge move up and most likely it's going to go sideways for a while until it decides to break a certain way. So as you can see from what I just showed, the FVGs really help find where I want to look to get in instead of wondering like looking around, trying to, I really don't recommend strategy hopping. Try to find something that seems simple to you and then stick with it. Like it's not going to stick the first few times, first 100 trades, it's not going to be perfect, but if you just, I stuck through it, keep learning, looking for those exact setups, and it started to become consistent. Now I just immediately, my eyes like focus into that setup. I see it happening. Ooh, let me wait for the confirmation. Candle closes in my direction. Get in, stop loss above or below the FEG. 1 or 2 or 1 or 3.
Amazing. Thank you very much for sharing this. So this strategy, you trade most of the time gold, NAS100, and some confirmation on SPX 500.
Yeah, sorry
Cool,
if that was a
cool.
bit long on the
No, no,
strategy.
no. I think it was really, really interesting. As I said, I already found this indicator in the trading view, so maybe I will use it as well. And it's pretty interesting and valuable, and it surely works for you pretty well. We can see it on your performance, so I think that a lot of people can use it as well. So
Yeah,
I'm pretty glad that you shared
it's
this,
free.
and I appreciate it.
Yeah, free indicator. I don't like to gatekeep. I think trading, it's like everyone's trying to, they're in trading for their own, everyone has their own reasons, but why
Yeah,
not help other traders try to become profitable? Like what has helped me out?
yeah,
I always like to share with other traders. I've seen on, like, especially on Twitter, I don't know what it is with
mhm,
some traders, they have like such a high ego. They're like, I'm not sharing my strategy. I'm not going to share what
yeah.
indicators I have. I'm like, bro, we're all here. We're all the little fish trying to trade against the bigger fish anyways. So
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So thank you very much again for this interview. I pretty appreciate that you shared everything you know, and I just wish you all the best with your trading career, with trading with Upcomers. I'm very glad that you are part of Upcomers.
yeah,
So
I really like
thank you for that.
Upcomers, and I mean, you guys have really nice price points to get in
Yeah,
compared to the rest of the prop
mhm,
firms, and yeah,
yeah,
rules are pretty easy to follow. Like you just go to the FAQ, it's there. It's not
yeah,
difficult to read.
yeah.
Everything you need to know is in the FAQs, and of course, you can
Mhm.
ask your mods on Discord. They're very helpful. They've helped me a
Yeah,
lot.
that's amazing feedback. Thank you for that. Yeah, it's like we really want to be transparent. Like everything is stated in the FAQ, and as you said, you can use the chatbot on the website. It also helps you. It's trained to help trade people to answer every question, or Discord moderators. So yeah, thank you for everything.
Yep, nice meeting you, Jacob. Thank you.
Nice to
You have
meet
a
you,
good day.
and I wish you a great day. Bye bye.
Thank you. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.